Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have a roundup for you, a reaction and a review of the Texas Numismatic Association coin show that was held in Arlington last weekend, and it was a fun show. It was open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it had dealers set up on Thursday, and I think generally there's a pretty good buzz in the room still on Thursday and Friday. For those of you who were there, you probably were there those early days you saw. It was interesting to me because we were really busy on Friday, and then moving into Saturday, I thought we were going to be even busier. And then Saturday midday, I started to see some guys pack up, which I was really surprised by. A lot of guys that are there. There's a couple guys that are there. There's different types of dealers, right? Like I made the travel expense. I don't have any other plans. I'm hunkering down for the 3 days, right? You don't want to be the last one out of the building because you got to turn the lights off. But if you forget, there are guys who show up and literally just buy as much as they can Thursday and Friday, and then they go home. Like they are literally not really there to see the public. They don't care. That's not their deal, right? And then you have other guys that are kind of vest pocket dealers, like the guy who is set up next to me. He's a lawyer. And so this is just kind of a part-time gig for him. So by Saturday afternoon, he was ready to call it a day. And I understand that. I understand that. Which I got to spread out a little bit more, by the way, because when that happens, you just kind of scooch the table over a little closer, and spread out. Hey, take some liberties there. The show, I thought the show had pretty strong, of course, wholesale and retail. Both. I know that there's guys who always say, well, shows are only about retail, only about wholesale. It's all dealer to dealer. And there's plenty of dealer to dealer. You'll see a lot of that in sometimes bigger ticket items. That tends to be true. Sometimes you can retail some bigger ticket items too. But the smaller ticket items, there's plenty of retail action there at that show, especially Friday and Saturday. And speaking of the markets and the hot markets, I had at least a dozen people come up and ask me if I had Mexican coins. And I know that you may say a dozen's not a lot, but I mean, realistically, lots of times at shows, I'll have just 2 or 3 guys show up and say, hey, do you have any Mexican coins? I sold all but one Mexican coin that I brought. I actually had a few dozen different Mexican coins with me, and I sold them to probably 5 or 6 different people. Like it was really fascinating. So that I thought was a really interesting thing to note. Also, I met all kinds of great guys. I met lots of different dealers that I hadn't met before. There was also Drew and Chris, I hope I didn't get his name right, from Akusha Coins in Houston. And then also AppMex. Now, AppMex doesn't want me to tell you this. The guys at AppMex don't want me to mention this. But it was like the party bus. Man, AppMex has this big old party bus. It's like the Real World. You remember the Real World? And those guys were bringing the party. And I want more of that at coin shows. It was cool. They probably had 6 people with them. Almost all of them looked like they were younger than me. And I thought that was fantastic. Which is funny because I actually had a lot of people comment, oh, it's good to have such a young dealer here. And it's like, well, true. But by the way, some of the comments about youth, there are a number of young guys walking the show who don't have a table, but they're walking the show to work, to flip stuff or to buy stuff, and maybe they sell on Instagram or something like that. But there's still to me a lot more youth there, and I saw a whole lot of people that were kind of like first time, new to the market people, and not the kind of guys that's like, well, I collected when I was young and now I'm getting back into the market. There were a whole lot of people that were a wide age range. They might have been in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Who, as I was talking to, they were like brand new to the hobby. And so I'd give out my card and say, hey, look, if you want to learn more, here you can check out our YouTube channel. Yeah, look at me just shamelessly plugging away. Shameless. So there was a whole lot of that, which I thought was pretty interesting. Couple more things. I got to say hi to like everyone who stopped at the table. I can't say hi to everyone because I didn't write everyone's names down, but Tony, Sean, George, Bill, Jose, Michael, David, Derek, Dwight, Brian, Jeremy, Misty, Jay, Greg, Gordon, Dave, John. I could have just said Dave and John probably once. Aaron, Allison, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun meeting everyone there. I really appreciate everyone taking the time. I'm gonna, if I can get to some more shows this year, I will. We'll try to post it a little bit more ahead of time. You know, my show schedule is kind of all wacky, and I haven't set stuff down yet, or made the commitment to any other shows. I will say this: I learned a couple of different things. One, watch out for trap coins. So I've talked about this before. A trap coin is a coin that has a really high gray sheet value, but you can't sell it anywhere near that. For anyone who knows the guys at Gray Sheet, fix this bid, please. I saw a guy had 1937S Texas commemorative and MS68, and bid is $8,000. The only problem is like the last three that have sold for less than $4,000. And so that, my friends, is what we call a trap coin. Sometimes the Gray Sheet is wrong the opposite direction. I mean, it can be wrong to the point where you know, you can't find a coin at the Gray Sheet price listed. And then there's this. Speaking of finding coins at Gray Sheet, you know, I don't know what the market means for any of this stuff anymore, Gray Sheet. As long as you can sell a coin, right, it's probably good. But I've got a guy who's trying to put a short set of Walking Liberty halves together, PCGS MS65, so that's going to be like your 1940s Walking Liberty halves, right? And in MS65, and I couldn't find them at the show. And the ones I found, a lot of those coins bid at like $75 to $85, and guys wanted $120. And it was like, I mean, which, by the way, they used to be that like 10 years ago. I mean, a nice Walking Liberty half in 65, they were $120 all day long. And so I'm really intrigued to see, I'll be intrigued to see if and when the market cools down, what that's going to look like. Now, speaking of the market cooling down, I had about half the dealers tell me that they just thought that the market was cooling down and they didn't have as much retail. There was some explanation from a few people about why the show wasn't as busy Saturday. The facility we're at was literally right next door to the Rangers ballpark, and there was a Rangers game, and apparently, you know, that can draw people away, but also it can keep people away who don't want to deal with traffic. So if you're a local and you understand the traffic scene, then, you know, you may try to avoid something along those lines. Right? So anyways, it was a fun show. Assuming that my schedule allows me to, I will get back to the Texas Numismatic Association show next summer. I hope everyone, thanks to everyone who stopped by, and hopefully we'll see. I heard that they used to rotate the show from different cities in the area. If you've never been to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's massive. You're talking about over 100 miles of Metroplex, lots of rolling hills. They have something called humidity there. We got some rain, which is actually nice. It was unseasonably cool for one day. But it was weird to me to feel all the paper felt like soft instead of crispy. I'm like, what's wrong with all the paper? My business started to curl up, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, this is the weirdest environment I've ever been in. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And if you want to watch more videos, you can. If you want to subscribe, you can. Members, links. You guys, y'all already know all that. Y'all. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. Take care.